Good morning, mi casita, rainbow, and sunshine friends. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Eileen, and I work in the mi casita classroom. And today we're going to be reading some stories about dogs. This is our dog. His name is Ty, and he has been in our family since he was 8 weeks old. And now he is 16 and a half years old, which is very old for a dog. But we love him very much. And he's so good still about going for long walks and eating his food. And he's such a sweet doggy. If any of you have doggies, I'm sure that you take very good care of your dogs too. So give them lots of love while you're home with your parents now. So we're going to read the story about a dog, and then after that we'll do a second story. So I'm going to give Ty a little hug, and now he's going to go back to his bed. Bye-bye, Ty. Our first story we're going to read is called The Puppy Who Wanted a Boy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the words and then I will show you the picture. So this story is written by Jane Thayer. One day, Petey, who was a puppy, said to his mother, who was a dog, "I'd like a boy for Christmas." His mother, who was a dog, said she thought he could have a boy if he was a very good puppy. So there's Mommy and little puppy Petey. So the day before Christmas, Petey's mother asked, "Have you been a very good puppy?" "Oh, yes," said Petey. "I didn't frighten the cat." "You didn't?" asked Petey's mother. "Well, I just frightened her a little," said Petey, "and I didn't chew any shoes." "Not any?" said his mother. "Just a teeny weeny chew," said Petey, "and I remembered, well, almost always remembered, to bark when I wanted to go out." "All right," said his mother, "I think you've been good for such a little dog. I will go out and get you a boy for Christmas." But when Petey's mother came back, she looked very worried. "How would you like a soft white rabbit with pink ears for Christmas?" she said to Petey. "No, thanks," said Petey. "Don't you want a lovely canary?" "I'd like a boy," said Petey. "How about some guppy fish?" said Petey's mother. "I just want a boy," said Petey. "Petey," said his mother at last, "there are no boys to be found." "No boys?" cried Petey. "Not one could I find. They're terribly short of boys this year." Petey thought he couldn't stand it if he didn't have a boy. Finally his mother said, "There now, there must be a boy somewhere. Perhaps you could find some dog who would give his boy away." "Do you think I could?" said Petey. "It wouldn't hurt to try," said his mother. So Petey started off. It wasn't long before he saw a collie racing with a boy on a bicycle. Petey trembled with joy. "If I had a boy on a bicycle," said Petey to himself, "I could run like anything. I'll take a little run right now, and I'll ask the collie politely if he'll give his boy away." So there he is, chasing the collie and the boy on the bicycle. So Petey leaped after the bicycle. He called out to the collie, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" But the collie said no, he definitely didn't, in a dreadful tone of voice. Petey sat down. He watched the collie and his boy on a bicycle. until they were out of sight. "I didn't really want a boy on a bicycle anyway," said Petey. After a while, he saw a setter playing ball with a boy. Petey was delighted. "If I had a boy to play ball with," said Petey, "I'd catch the ball smack in my mouth. I'd like to catch the ball now." But he remembered how the collie had been. So he sat down on the sidewalk and called out politely, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" But the setter said no, he definitely didn't, in a terrifying tone of voice. "Oh, well," said Petey, trotting off. "I don't think playing ball is so much fun." Soon Petey came to a bulldog sitting in a car with a boy. Petey was pleased, for he was getting a little tired from so much walking. "If I had a boy in a car," said Petey, "I'd laugh at walking dogs. I'd like a ride right now." So he called out loudly, but very politely, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" But the bulldog said no, he definitely didn't, and he growled in Petey's face. Poor little doggy. "Uh-oh," said Petey. He hurried behind a house and stayed there until he saw the bulldog and his boy drive away. "Well, who wants to go riding in a car?" "Not me," said Petey, coming out from behind the house. He thought he would just rest a while, though. He had come a long way for such a little dog. He was limping a bit when he started off again, and after a while he met a Scotty dog, walking with his boy and carrying a package in his mouth. "Now that is a good kind of boy," said Petey. "If I had a boy to take walks with me and carry packages for, there might be some dog biscuits or cookies in the package. I would like a cookie right now." He hadn't had any lunch, but he remembered how cross the collie and the setter and the bulldog had been. So he stayed across the street and shouted at the top of his lungs, but polite as could be, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" The Scotty had his mouth full with the package, but he managed to say no, he definitely didn't, and he showed his sharp teeth to Petey. "I guess I wasn't the kind of boy I wanted either," said poor Petey. "But my goodness, where can I find a boy?" Well, Petey trotted on, but he couldn't find a single dog who would give his boy away. Petey's eyes began to droop. His tail grew limp. His little legs were very tired. "My mother was right," he thought. "There isn't a boy to be found." Just as it was getting dark, he came to a large building on the very edge of town. Petey was walking by slowly when he saw a sign, "Home for Boys." So this is a place where a lot of boys live together. "Maybe I could find a boy here," said Petey to himself. "These boys have no mommies and daddies and no dog to take care of them either." He padded slowly up the walk of the home. He was so tired, he could hardly lift his little paws. Then Petey stopped. He listened. He could hear music. He looked through the window and saw a lighted Christmas tree and children singing carols. Then Petey saw something else. On the front steps of the building, all by himself, sat a boy. He was not a very big boy, and he looked very lonely. Petey gave a glad little cry. He forgot about being tired. He leaped up and landed in the boy's lap. Sniff, sniff went Petey's little nose. Wag, wag went Petey's tail. He kissed the little boy with his warm, wet tongue. How glad the boy was to see Petey. He put both his arms around the little dog and hugged him tight. Then the front door opened and a lady looked out. "Why, here you are, Ricky," she said. "What is our newest boy doing out here all alone? Come on in and sit near the Christmas tree." Petey sat very still, and the boy sat still. The boy looked up at the lady and down at Petey. Petey began to tremble. Would the boy go in and leave him? "I'm not alone," said the boy. "I've got a puppy." "A puppy?" The lady came out and looked at Petey in surprise. "Can he come too?" said the boy. "Why," said the lady, "you're a nice little dog. Wherever did you come from? Yes, bring him in." "Come on, puppy," cried the boy. In they scampered. A crowd of boys were playing around the Christmas tree. They rushed at Petey. They picked him up and petted him. Petey wagged his tail. He wagged his fat little body. He frisked about and licked every one of the boys. "Can we keep him?" said one. "Can we give him supper?" said another. "Can we fix him a nice warm bed?" said a third. "We will give him some supper and a nice warm bed," said the lady. "And tomorrow we will find his mother and see if she'll let him stay. He is so cute." Petey knew his mother would let him stay. She knew how much he wanted a boy. "But won't she be surprised," said Petey to himself, with a happy little grin, "when I tell her I got 50 boys for Christmas." So I think Petey is really going to help the boys be happy for Christmas. So now we have a second story. It's called Hugs and Kisses. This little dog reminds me of my dog, Ty, because he has floppy ears. See those big floppy ears? So this story is written by Christoph Lupi. One morning, Hugs the puppy woke up early. His mother and father and all his sisters were still sleeping. Quietly, he tiptoed outside. There was something he had to find out. "Good morning," said two ducks from the pond. "What are you doing up so early?" "I'm finding out something," Hugs said. "Could you please give me a kiss?" "A kiss?" quacked the ducks. "Of course. Where would you like it?" "Right here," said Hugs, and he pointed to his cheek. You see him pointing to his cheek? And there's the ducks. So the ducks came out of the water and each gave him a kiss, one on the left and one on the right. Hugs closed his eyes and smiled. He'd never, ever had a kiss from a duck. It was a bit hard, of course, and wet, but it was quite refreshing. Hugs thanked the ducks and went on. Out in the pasture, Hugs saw a horse. "Good morning," he called. "Good morning," said the horse. "It's nice of you to visit." "I was wondering," Hugs said shyly, "could you please give me a kiss?" "A kiss?" neighed the horse. "Yes, right here." And Hugs pointed to his forehead. Do you all know where your forehead is? It's right up here. So the horse bent down and gave him a big kiss. Hugs closed his eyes and smiled. He'd never ever had a kiss from a horse. It was a bit damp, of course, and sticky, but it was quite warm. Hugs thanked the horse and went on. Soon the puppy found a pig rolling in a puddle of mud. "Good morning," said Hugs. "Good morning to you," said the pig. "What are you doing here all alone?" "I'm finding out something," Hugs said. "Could you please give me a kiss?" "A kiss from me?" grunted the pig. "Yes, right here." And he pointed to the tip of his nose. So the pig stepped out of the mud and gave him a kiss right on the tip of his nose. Hugs closed his eyes and smiled. He never ever had a kiss from a pig. It was a bit muddy, of course, and the bristles scratched, but it was quite tender. Hugs thanked the pig and went on. Hugs came to a garden fence and saw a rabbit out among the corn. "Good morning," he called. "What are you doing so far from home?" said the rabbit. "I'm finding out something," Hugs said. "Could you please give me a kiss?" "A kiss from me?" said the rabbit. "Yes, right here." And he pointed to his neck. The rabbit hopped closer and gave him a kiss right in his wrinkled fur. Hugs closed his eyes and smiled. He'd never ever had a kiss from a rabbit. Hugs thanked the rabbit and headed back home. On the way, Hugs saw a yellow butterfly. "Good morning," he called. "Morning, morning," whispered the butterfly in the wind. "You've been out for a long time." "I'm heading home," Hugs said. "But first, could you give me a kiss?" "A kiss from me?" the butterfly said. "Yes, a kiss right here." And he pointed to his mouth. So the butterfly settled gently on his mouth and gave him a kiss. Hugs closed his eyes again and smiled. Oh, so fine, a butterfly's kiss. He never felt anything like it before. It tickled, but it was wonderful. He thanked the butterfly with all his heart and hurried on home. His mother and father and sisters were all waiting for him. "Where have you been?" asked Mother. "We were worried about you." "Oh, it was such a beautiful morning. I couldn't sleep and there was something I had to find out." "Now, my little one, what was so important?" Mother nuzzled Hugs and gave him a big kiss. "That's it," Hugs said. "Now I know a kiss from a duck is refreshing. A kiss from a horse is warm. A kiss from a pig is tender. A kiss from a rabbit is soft. A kiss from a butterfly is wonderful. But the best kiss of all is the kiss I get from you." So this was a very special story, and I hope you give your mommy and daddy big hugs and kisses while you're home for these days with them. And I'll be back again to read some more stories, and I'll tell my doggy Ty you said goodbye. Until we meet again, good friends. Love you.